Attention, Madrid fans! Urgent news is shaking the backstage of the biggest club in the world. A Brazilian player has just been expelled from the squad, Ferland Mendy is officially up for sale, and Rodrigo might leave the club during this transfer window. Real Madrid has fully entered what is being called the exit operation, and no one is safe. Stay with me, because today's updates will surprise you. Before we continue, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any hot news about the greatest club on the planet. There's something new here every day, so don't miss out. Let's get straight to the main bombshell. Reinier Jesus is out of Real Madrid. That's right, the young Brazilian, signed as a gem for €30 million in 2020, has officially been removed and is already training alone at Valdebebas, far from even the Castilla squad. The decision was made by Alvaro Arbeloa, the new Castilla coach, who made it clear that Reinier is not part of the plans for the season. Real Madrid had been seeking another loan for the player after several disappointing spells at clubs like Borussia Dortmund, Girona, Frosinone, and most recently, Granada. But since no official offer arrived, the club is even considering a mutual contract termination. Reinier's situation is critical and serves as a warning to other youngsters who arrive with high expectations. Since 2020, Reinier hasn't played a single official match for the senior Real Madrid team. After repeatedly failing to impress at the clubs he was loaned to, the club has reached its limit. Now, at 23 years old, the Brazilian attacking midfielder faces the most difficult moment of his career and is desperately searching for a new team to start over. His nightmare phase seems to be ending, but not without scars. "I'd like to thank Real Madrid for the opportunity, even if things didn't go as I hoped," Reinier reportedly told people close to him, according to the Spanish press. The club, on its part, maintains a respectful tone but no longer hides the fact that his departure is a matter of time, or rather, a matter of hours. Reinier's exit is not happening in isolation. It's part of a deep restructuring process Real Madrid is undergoing this summer. After bringing in 4 major signings, Dean Huijsen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Franco Mastantuono, and Alvaro Carreras, the main squad now has 25 players, the maximum allowed by La Liga. This forces the club to act quickly on departures. That's why names like Alvaro Rodriguez, Jacobo Ramon, and Mario Martin are already close to leaving. But the big spotlight now turns to Ferland Mendy. The 30-year-old French left-back failed to convince Xabi Alonso's new coaching staff, and internally, Real Madrid has already put him on the market. The rise of Fran Garcia and the signing of Alvaro Carreras accelerated Mendy's exit. Even with a contract until 2027, the club understands there's no more room for him. Fran Garcia has impressed both the coach and the board, especially with strong performances in the Club World Cup. He is seen as more dynamic, younger, and better suited to Xabi Alonso's tactical vision. Despite the club's desire to sell him, the market hasn't responded well. Mendy's injury history, 4 different injuries just last season, combined with his high wages, make his sale quite complicated. Sources close to the club admit it may take time and possibly a facilitated agreement to complete the transfer. But the message from the board is clear: if an offer comes, he will be sold. And it doesn't stop there. Real Madrid is facing a true puzzle as it prepares the squad for the 2025-26 season. With more than €150 million already invested and additional signings still being considered, the priority now is to reduce the wage bill and create space. 5 players have uncertain futures. Rodrigo is one of them. The Brazilian, although one of the most valuable players in the squad, is beginning to lose prominence under Xabi Alonso's new strategies. Real Madrid initially set his price at around €100 million, but due to low demand, that figure has dropped to around €90 million. Tottenham is the only club currently in active talks. Rodrigo wants to stay, but everything depends on a key conversation with the new coach. Without a guaranteed starting spot, he might reconsider his future. Last season was inconsistent, and the competition in the attacking sector will intensify with the arrivals of Endrick and Gonzalo Garcia. Another player who could leave is David Alaba. At 33, the Austrian is now the 6th-choice centre-back and would cost Real Madrid €22.5 million in wages for his final contract year. The club even offered a mutual termination, but Alaba refused. Saudi Arabia could be an option, but time is running out. Dani Ceballos finds himself in a tricky spot. With Jude Bellingham out for the start of the season due to injury, Ceballos is a useful option in midfield. Real Madrid will only sell him if a quality replacement is found. Real Betis is interested, but cannot meet the €20 million asking price. Ceballos still dreams of the 2026 World Cup and knows he must play regularly to earn a spot. Finally, Endrick's situation is also under internal debate. The Brazilian youngster arrived with high expectations, but Gonzalo Garcia's meteoric rise raised concerns. The two play in similar positions, and some argue that Endrick should be loaned out to gain minutes and return better prepared. However, the decision will be entirely up to Xabi Alonso. The truth is that Real Madrid is cleaning house. The squad must be reshaped to make room for new talent and signings. And players who once seemed untouchable now have their futures in doubt. On the other hand, the club remains alert in the transfer market. Rumors suggest a new signing could be announced soon, but it all depends on these player exits. Only then will Xabi Alonso be able to shape the squad in his image and begin his era at the helm of the world's greatest club. The most delicate point in all of this is the balance Real Madrid needs to strike between renewal and competitiveness. The club knows it must make room for young talents like Gonzalo Garcia, Fran Garcia, Arda Güler, and even Endrick, but at the same time, it cannot afford to lose depth in key positions. That's one reason the board has been cautious about decisions regarding Dani Ceballos and Rodrygo. In Ceballos' case, for instance, some argue for his stay because of his experience and tactical intelligence, which could be vital in rotation and lower-pressure matches. But with Jude Bellingham out for the start of the season and no immediate replacement available, selling Ceballos would be risky. That's why any negotiation for him is currently frozen, at least until the club finds a trusted reinforcement for midfield. As for David Alaba, the scenario is even more complex. The Austrian is a respected name in the locker room, but his €22.5 million salary and limited playing time make him an obvious target in the overhaul. Real Madrid doesn't want this situation to drag on and hopes the player agrees to a move to the Middle East or even MLS, where he still has significant appeal. But so far, Alaba remains firm. Another factor pressuring the board to speed up exits is the registration limit. Even if new signings are completed, Real can only register them if there's space. So every departure counts. It's literally a numbers game. One in, one out. That's the context in which players like Reinier get left behind. Without opportunities, without a market, and now even without a training group, he becomes the symbol of a generation of failed signings. He's a warning sign for the board. Investing in young talents is essential, but without a career plan and real chances, even the most promising players can be wasted. The board, for its part, is more attentive than ever. Internal sources say Florentino Perez and José Ángel Sánchez have been in daily talks with Xabi Alonso about building the squad. There's a clear intention to create a younger, more dynamic, and financially sustainable team. That's exactly why players like Gonzalo Garcia are being valued. The youngster has impressed in training and could even steal minutes from more established players. This puts pressure on forwards like Joselu and even Brahim Diaz, who must prove they still fit the new project. What's happening at Real Madrid is not just a change of players, it's a shift in mentality. Reinier's departure, Mendy's isolation, the doubts surrounding Rodrygo, Alaba, Ceballos, and Endrick show that the club is ready to make deep adjustments to maintain its dominance. And as always, millions of Madridistas around the world will be watching closely. The expectation now is that at least 2 departures will be confirmed in the coming weeks. From there, the club will be able to register new signings and continue shaping the squad to Xabi Alonso's vision. Until then, fans should brace themselves for intense days of rumors, negotiations, and tough decisions. And now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Reinier's departure? Do you agree with Real Madrid letting go of Mendy and possibly selling Rodrygo? Leave your opinion in the comments, like the video, and share it with your fellow Madridistas to help grow the channel even more. Thank you so much for watching, Madridistas. I'll see you in the next video with more exclusive Real Madrid news. Until then.